Hi, Julie Russo here, creator of Structures of Equality, where we're making sense of math stories. If you're new to Structures, they're a reading comprehension tool that helps students better understand number stories. Before we get started, make sure you remember to subscribe to my channel below. I post weekly videos with actionable tips. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when they're available. Most teachers will agree that stories that have a math main idea that describes a comparison relationship are the most challenging for students to solve. Add to that, in the upper grades, there are stories that students have to read that have multiplicative comparisons in them as the main idea. Here's an example of one from DPI and my math main idea sorting map. A blue hat costs $6 and a red hat costs 3 times as much as the blue hat. How much does the red hat cost? So before I would ask the students to model this story, we would talk about what the math main idea is. In this story, the math main idea describes a comparison relationship. We're comparing the cost of the red hat to the cost of the blue hat. Then I would ask the students, if we're using bars, which bar would be longer? The bar that represents the blue hat or the bar that represents the red hat? Well, the red hat costs 3 times as much, so that bar would be longer than the blue bar. Once we have that, there's lots of different ways to model. The first way to model is actually using snap cubes. So here I have 6 blue snap cubes. Each one represents $1. So this train of snap cubes represents the cost of the blue hat. This train of snap cubes represents the cost of the red hat. If I break off the part that's equal, the red hat part that's equal to the blue hat, I can say there's 1 times as much, there's 2 times as much, there's 3 times as much. That's a really great way to start modeling stories like this. Once students understand that with manipulatives, you can go ahead and draw the bar models to help them better understand what's happening in the story. And I have a sample here that's listed at the bottom of your page. In this drawing, the red bar represents the red hat, the blue bar represents the blue hat, and I have individual cubes that show the dollar amounts. And they're labeled $1, $1, $1, $1. You can see that at the bottom of your screen. You can also see the line of equality in your model. That line of equality tells us where the blue hat and the red hat are equal in value. But we know that the red hat costs 3 times as much. So we need 3 blue hats to equal 1 red hat. The last way to model it is by drawing 2 bars. You can see that at the bottom of your page, where 1 bar represents the blue hat and the other bar represents the red hat. And the red hat bar will be longer than the blue hat bar. It'll be 3 times longer. So it will also have a line of equality, and 3 times as much will be labeled on both of those representations. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend or check out the other videos I have available on my channel. For more free resources, join my email list and Facebook community. You can find the links below.